Ladies and lads, long time no see. The last time I did a long format video like this, like face to face, was 5 months ago, and that was an anime video. And the last vlog was like 8 months ago. But you only watch long format, it's been a while. So in this video, I'm gonna explain everything that happened, at least the main points, and some of the changes about the content that you're gonna see on this channel moving forward. As a recap, last time it was when I had my accident with my cousin's car, and at the time the WRX was down. The problem with that was a clutch fork, and it was going to be very expensive to fix. And as you can see, different place. This is my sister's place. She bought it around October, I think, of last year. The car was repaired in December, and I got it back without having paid the full amount for the repair. That was a blessing. I cannot thank God enough for that, because if I hadn't had the car then, oh man, so many stuff wouldn't have happened. So that is a testimony in itself. And I finally paid everything last week. I'm done with that. But sooner than later, the car will have to go back to the shop to replace the clutch. The clutch is, I don't know, maybe 15% left, maybe 20 left. So I try not to drive the car too much. It's been doing well since that repair. It's been what, almost 3,000 kilometers, and still holding up pretty good. Now, the big thing. For the past, I don't know if you noticed, but for the past 2 years, I'll say almost 3 years, it's been rough for me. The easiest way I can explain this, at least for those of you who are believers, is that I am in my wilderness season, or you can say desert season. For those of you who don't understand, it basically means that God has stripped so much out of my life so that I can focus or reset everything about my personal faith and grow with Him to a certain level. Finances, the opportunities, all gone. It's like I'm in prison. I cannot do much. I still do video editing, and that's how I pay some of my bills, so that's okay. But for everything else, it is rough. It took me a long time to finally realize why this was happening and why I needed to go through all of that. The passage that can easily describe all of this is in James 1. And I'm going to read it to you. James 1 from verse 2 to 4. It says, "For you know that when your faith..." Oh, this is NLT version, by the way. "For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow, so let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing." It's funny because my mom was telling me this for a long time, something similar to this, but I didn't get it. It was going here and exiting through here. My only wish was for me to get out of this situation, to go back to my normal, you know. But this was needed desperately, because it showed me I was still a kid, at least in my faith. And that is crucial to me because, as you know, or maybe you don't, the whole point of this channel is to showcase the journey towards doing or accomplishing whatever God wants me to do for Him on this earth. Like I said in my first video, or at least the first video that I published on this channel, is open the anime studio, and that is still the goal. The issue though is that for the longest time, I didn't know this. Well, maybe I knew it, but I was trying to evade it. I was just sitting there and waiting, expecting one day to get inspiration out of nowhere for the story of a potential anime or movie. I was just thinking that everything was just gonna fall into my hands. I wouldn't have to do much, but that is not how it works. You have to put the step forward. You have to commit doing things. And I was avoiding that for the longest time, until very recently, where during a prayer session, one of my brothers in Christ, he heard from God saying that, okay, it's time for me to start working towards this. They don't know about all the anime stuff, but the message was clear. I needed to start working on the story for the potential anime or movie. I was also a bit confused about the direction I would go with content on the social media. I started a TikTok account. I put a bunch of my short form content related, car related content there. But since my car was down, I wasn't able to do anything. So I was like, you know what? I like animes. Let me start creating content about animes. And that is why, if you notice, you go on my short form here on YouTube, most of this is from that TikTok account. I did it for a while, and then at some point the guy was like, no, you don't waste your time doing this. And I couldn't understand it until we had that prayer time with that brother, and that was like, okay, that is why you were telling me don't waste your time on that. Start working towards something that is going to actually produce fruits out there. And that is what I started doing. Let me show you. Well, I can't show you the story or the stuff I'm doing story-wise. You have to believe me. But the other part that God clearly told me to do, which I was doing before we moved, but then I stopped doing it after, was drawing. So this is when I started relearning how to draw, because I've always been drawing since I was a kid, but I stopped when I went to the US. Well, even way before that. So this is what I was doing before we moved. I was watching tutorials on YouTube. The main ones was from Draw Like a Sir, and I was trying to do my own thing. So this was the beginning. Practicing eyes. All of these are from when I restarted learning all the way to when we moved. I think this was one of the last ones. And then about 2 months ago, God told me, hey, go back to relearning how to draw. You were doing it before, go back to it. And this time I found a course online and I tried to do it every day. Most of the time, if my schedule is like completely free, I do it from Monday to Saturday. Sunday I don't do anything. Some Sunday I do, but most I don't. And then on top of that, I'm still learning on the side on my own and trying to develop my own style of drawing. Characters, all of that, just like I was doing before. These right here on my desk are the sketchbooks that I bought for that. This one is for the course I'm doing. Now I'm at a point where what I'm learning is something I wasn't doing before, shading. And this, my friend, is what I'm currently trying to apply to my drawings. Like I said, this is for that course, and this one is the one where I practice on my own every single day alongside the course. Whatever I learned there, I do here. So I went back to the drawing board, learning to do faces. Now on the left side you see this R, that means reference. Whatever is on the left, I used reference for maybe shadows, seeing features that I'm learning, but the proportions is what I learned on my own, or at least watching videos and all that. And on the right side is no reference. Whatever I learned here, I tried to replicate it here without using any reference. So today I drew this, then right after I did this. I was focusing on the face and doing the shading, just like what you're learning right now, the course. And this is the last drawing I did a few hours ago before doing this video. On the left again, referenced. I was trying to learn the features of female face on the side and on the front. Also the shadows, out shade. And then on the right, I tried to do this on my, well, not tried, I did this without my references and trying to apply my own style. The style I like and I'm trying to emulate is the art style of Guilty Gear Strive. I absolutely love that art style. Somewhat stylish, but fairly realistic at the same time. I like it, so that's what I'm trying to emulate. The reason why I showed you all of this is to emphasize that this is extremely important to me at this moment, as it is God's telling me to do this for a reason. So I must take it seriously, and that is why I'm doing all of this. Now, this leads me to the main point of this video, telling you what is going to change moving forward as far as content on this channel. Like I said in my introduction video, by the way, the reason why I did that video that way was specifically for something like this, because I knew that at some point things were going to change. I wasn't just going to make content about cars, right? It was just for a while, and this is that time. Now, the car content is still going to be there because I like cars, I like making contents about them. What you will now also see besides the car content is videos like this with me updating you about how I'm doing with drawings, how I'm doing with building that story, or whatever update I have regarding that aspect, as it is going to be bigger and bigger as we move forward, because of course at some point I'm gonna have to open an anime studio. So of course I'm gonna be talking about that stuff. Only makes sense, right? So yeah, moving forward, expect lifestyle content a little bit more. Just wanted to make this video for whoever is watching or still watching this channel. If you only want short form content, I have that on YouTube here, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Now, this is the part where I'm still confused about what to do, so I'm just gonna do whatever. On TikTok, I started with car content, then anime content, and now it's going back to car content. I'm just gonna wing it, I'm just gonna upload whatever, right? On Instagram, it has always been mostly about cars, so I think I'm gonna stick to that on there. But here on YouTube, you have everything. YouTube, at least for the people that like long form, you have long form. If you want short form, you also have that. But for short form, you have everything, like everything. The lifestyle stuff, car stuff, drawing stuff. Drawing stuff, I'll probably do that on another account. But yeah, on this channel, you have everything. So yeah, that is the update. Looking forward to what God has in store for me, and I'll do my best to make him proud. And this is in every single aspect, especially, you know, working on the story and the drawing. That, people, I am not messing around with that. Oh no. I forgot to mention that there is a channel name change. It is no more Jack Ichigo TV, as it is linked to Bleach and doesn't really goes well with what we are going to do moving forward. Now it is Jaspa, GA_S_PA. I was going for something like Japan, but it basically means Jack's path, which is my path, which is the path that God has designed for me, which is this entire journey towards opening the anime studio and producing animes or movies. That is why. Just wanted to add that.